headed home, I dug her out, then I made her one of my aces. Marijuana fragrance, this tree here is outrageous. Want me to play in your city? Send an email to my agent.
Yo, what's going down, everybody? It is Straight Outta Boston here, aka the King of Boston, and today we are back for episode 24 of the Billy Beane Road to the Show on MLB 13 The Show. And today, obviously continuing Billy Beane's 2016 campaign. Once again, we're doing, I think actually we're only doing like an advancement period and a half. We're going right up to the All-Star break as I'm getting things started, or I guess not started, this is the second clip of the episode, with a deep home run to center field in Arizona against a division rival. And speaking of the Diamondbacks, the Arizona Diamondbacks have surprised many by staying in first place for a majority of the first half of the Major League season so far. And it has been quite impressive what they're doing. If you guys know Ryan, or Ryan the Sports GM, he's one of my buddies on YouTube. He predicted that the Diamondbacks would have a very good year and might even win the division. I think he had them tied for the division win or something in our preseason podcasts. But yeah, he predicted this, and I'm not really surprised. I mean, they're pitching. They have such depth in pitching, and not only do you need excellent pitching to do well in baseball these days, but you need depth with your pitching. You need to go solid 1 through 5. You even need to go solid 1 through 7 or 1 through 6 at least, because injuries always happen in this game. And, the Diamondbacks have just really excelled with their pitching this year. Their offense has backed it up. Paul Goldschmidt is honestly an MVP candidate. They haven't missed Justin Upton one bit. Adam Eaton hasn't done amazing, but, it's a good all-around lineup. It's a good team. They play fundamental baseball. And I really would not be surprised if they end up winning the NL West at the end of the year. And I think they're World Series contenders. I mean, I always look at pitching when it comes to playing in October. And the Diamondbacks pitching is one of the best in the big leagues. And Patrick Corbin has been phenomenal. One of just the many players on the Diamondbacks that seems to get overlooked because, they're not top prospects or all this stuff. I mean, same thing with Wade Miley and even Randall Delgado. I mean, these are good pitchers who just people, look over. And it really sucks what happened to Daniel Hudson. It looks like he might be the next Dallas Braden, quite frankly. Just, a top young arm who comes up and excels in his short time, but is just riddled by injuries and cannot seem to get over them. So that is really sad for him. He's a lot of talent. I think he's only 25 years old still. Really hasn't even peaked yet, but hopefully he can get better. Hopefully he can make a return next season, and hopefully he can come back and maybe help the Diamondbacks next year. But for this year, it looks like they're going to be without him. But like I said, their depth with their pitching going just 1 through 5 with Cahill, McCarthy, Miley, Corbin, Delgado, and I'm pretty sure Delgado's not even in the rotation right now, but I could be wrong. Either way, it's just such a strong team, and I'm like I said, I wouldn't be surprised if they ended up taking on the NL West crown. But anyway, we're facing off against the Marlins, a team that has not done so well this year. I do believe they have the worst record in baseball, and Marcell Ozuna has really thrived for the Marlins this year. He has come up and when Giancarlo Stanton went down, he played a lot of right field, and he was hitting like 330, and it's kind of the problem with the whole prospect system and the top 100 prospects in baseball these days. We overlook players who maybe scouts don't see potential in, but they just excel at every level of the game. And not to say Ozuna was the best player in AAA or anything, but really ever since showcasing that power in A-ball during the 2011 season, he really has he's done well in all of his minor league, I guess, appearances, or minor league season, I should say. And I don't know, we just overlooked him because scouts didn't see the potential in him, and they prefer to look at the Christian Yelichs of the world. But Ozuna's come up. He hasn't really showcased that power in the big leagues yet. He only has 1 home run, but he's hitting about 290 right now, and he's just been very impressive. And he could be a player that, if the Marlins really believe in, could give them the freedom to try and trade Giancarlo Stanton come this offseason. We'll see. Giancarlo Stanton, though, is back and healthy, and he hit 2 home runs the other night off of Patrick Corbin in the Arizona Diamondbacks, and he looked very impressive, showcasing that young power. Kevin Millar made a bold statement on Intentional Talk the other day, claiming that Giancarlo Stanton would hit 600 home runs. I wouldn't be shocked. I mean, if he stays healthy, he's only 23 years old, already has 100, I believe, in his career. I think he hit his 100th home run the other day, so would not be surprised. Here's the end of the first advancement period. I believe, I don't even know if we got our goals down. It really seems to not matter if you mess up your goals this year, as long as you don't do it like 3 or 4 times in a row. So that's good. We're facing the Padres here, a team that's been hot of late, and they have a closer in Houston Street who could be on the market this trade deadline. I don't see him getting traded, but I know the Red Sox and the Tigers are both in the market for a closing pitcher, and we'll see. Maybe if they throw if they throw a good enough offer at the Padres, they may just have to accept. The Padres run their organization a lot like the A's do. When they get players like this, they look to deal them for top prospects, and if they get a good enough offer, I would not be surprised to see Houston straight on the move this offseason. But for right now, we're hitting a 2-run home run, just sneaking that in to the right field bleachers, and we're going to get a 2-run shot, I believe that was, off of Luke Gregerson, the middle reliever for the San Diego Padres, who really came on last year. I believe he was on Team USA for the World Baseball Classic this season, if I do remember correctly. So we go 2 for 4 that game with a double and a home run. Billy Beane continuing his excellent performance, making a case to be not only in the Home Run Derby but in the All-Star game as well. Here we're facing the Rockies, another surprise team in the NL West, who I believe have fallen back to 2nd or 3rd place in the division now, but they had a hot start, and we'll see if they will be buyers or sellers at the trade deadline. Really good offense. Their pitching has been better this year, but it's still not a really great pitching staff. Here Beane crushes this one off Christian Friedrich to deep left center field, and that one is going to one hop up against the wall, bounce up high. Beane's rounding second. No, he's going to stay there. Would have been foolish to try and go to third, but either way, now later in the game, top third. Well, still in the top third, I should say, not really that much later. We're going to end up swiping third base. No, we're going to be thrown out, so we cannot swipe third right there. And we end up the game 2 for 3 with a walk and a pair of doubles. Billy Beane, close to 50 stolen bases already on the season, and yes, he has 51. You can see the career stats right here, 26 homers to go along with a 327 average and 51 steals. Gaudy numbers by the young center fielder for the San Francisco Giants. So here we're getting a pinch hit opportunity against Javi Guerra and the Los Angeles Dodgers, our arch rival, who have really disappointed many this season. I think they can still come back and maybe contend for a playoff spot, but it's going to be hard. Very similar fate to the Los Angeles Lakers. Here we're going to beat out an infield single as Javi Guerra had to plant himself and try to fire it quickly, but he could not get us. So we're going to try and swipe second as always, and we are going to be in there safely. Not even close. Throw was a little high, and it was late either way. So Beane's in there at second base. Here we go. Top 7, still 1-0 count, and we're going to try and swipe third, and we are going to get in there safely. So we take the bat out of Sammy Torres' hands a little bit, but hopefully it will pay off. And now the next game, the following day, top 5 here. We're going to hit this one into right field. That is going to be over the right fielder's head, and that will get down. 1 run will score. Here comes another. Beane is rounding second, heading for third. That's where the throw will go, and it is in time. They get Beane at third, but not before both runs come across. Now later in the game, top 7, we are going to crush this one to deep right field. That one is going to one hop up against the wall. No, it will go over the wall for a ground rule double for Billy Beane. So really using that extra base power, using that warning track power, using that home run power, whatever you want to say. Still top 7 here, 0-1 count. We're going to be swiping third base. Chris Heisey up at the bat. But it does not matter because Chris Heisey is a terrible hitter in this game. He hits like 220 for us, and it's really frustrating having him hit like behind me sometimes. But either way, that is going to be a pair of doubles to go 2 for 5 on the day for Billy Beane. Very good performance. Now, once again, facing the Padres, a lot of NL West opponents these days as we get towards the middle of the season. We crushed that one deep and off the very top of the wall, just near where it says splash hits. I think it was a little bit to the right of it. Here comes the runner, rounding third, heading for home. He is safe. We get into third base, and it's going to be an RBI triple for Billy Beane of the San Francisco Giants. Now, later in the game, bottom 6. Andrew Cashner still on the mound. I believe that's Cashner. No, I don't know if that's Cashner. I can't quite tell. Either way, the second baseman will misplay this one, and we get reach first base on an error. Now, still bottom 6. New pitcher in for the Padres. It does not matter. We are still going to be stealing second base using that speed. We only have 83 speed and about 63 base running ability, 81 speed, and I don't know, it's just really easy to steal bases in this game. Chase Headley's tag was applied, not in time, but we get in there for another stolen base. We go 2 for 3 that day. Surprisingly, didn't get an at-bat in the last 3 innings, but I guess it's because we won the game, and we did not get any at-bats in the bottom of the 9th. So anyway, still, you can take a look at the standings. 2.5 games up on the Dodgers, Diamondbacks, Padres, and Rockies, all kind of falling behind the pack. So it's really a 2-team race right now. And here we're going up against the Padres still, and we crushed that one to deep right field. That is going to splash into McCovey Cove. McCovey Cove. I used to always call it McCovey Cove, but I don't know why. I know it's McCovey's Cove or whatever, but either way, that is a deep home run. You can take a look at the replay there. Doing a little Sammy Sosa hop, which I'm so glad that they included in the game this year. I remember when I created the Road to the Show last year, before I got into YouTube, I think I made a Road to the Show character, and I used Sammy Sosa's batting stance for a bit because I love that hop. But anyway, Sammy Sosa was one of my favorite players growing up, part of the steroid era, but it is what it is. Anyway, we're getting another home run here. Same game, second home run of the afternoon. That one off of Chris Archer, it looks like, the Tampa Bay Rays top pitching prospect who has been dealt to the Padres in this road to the show. Now same game, bottom 7. We're going to crush that one. Do we have a third home run of the game? No, it can't be. That is a deep part of the park, and it's going to get down into triples alley, as it was a nice attempt by the right fielder there, and that does not score a run because the runner had to hold up to see if it would be caught or not, but it's alright. We get a double. We go 2 for 5, pair of home runs, and a double added on to that, so a very nice performance by Billy Beane, the center fielder for the San Francisco Giants, drafted just a mere 4 years ago. Here's Houston Street on the mound. We're going to bounce that one over his head for a base hit. We will be safe at first. There was no throw. That must have been fielded by a shortstop or something, but either way, we're going to try and run the bases a little bit here. Probably not the smartest decision considering the tying run is at the plate. Our run really means nothing, but I could care less because, I don't know, that's just what I do. Anyway, that is going to be a swipe of third base, and that is pretty much going to wrap up this video. You can take a look at our stats for that game right here. We end up going 1 for 2. We pinch hit in the 9th inning or whatever, but anyway, it's going to wrap this video, so I thank you guys for watching. Hope you did enjoy, and as always, I'm out. Peace.